That was weird. We were live for all that. Hi.
Hi. What's up?
Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the show. Oh no, that's not it. Hi.
Where'd you just pull
We're
that
here
mic
at today's show.
It's on Rose.
Hi,
you
good
better say
afternoon. I'll just move my mouth.
Hi, welcome to the show. There we go. There's the main camera. Yeah, a little flurry of technical activity before the show today. And but I think we're doing all right. Sounds and vid work, somebody said in the chat.
Do we have chatters?
There's the rest of the chat. That was Green Supreme said that. Freemasons in the house. Dubes there. Coral. We'll say hi in a sec. I'm Marijuana Man. Welcome to From Under the Seed Desk, formerly known as From Under the Influence. It's Wednesday.
Awesome.
Puff, puff, pass.
Well, pass.
It's Wednesday here in Vancouver, 4 o'clock on the lower mainland, and we're broadcasting from the second floor here at the BCMP Vapor Lounges, high above Mark Emery's Cannabis Culture headquarters. And joining me, as always, on the couch, Her Highness, Kush Queen.
Hola, hola.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. How's it going, Greg?
It's going very well.
Good.
It seems like just a week since I saw you last.
It feels exactly like just a week since I saw you. To the very minute, actually.
And we have yet another camera, which I think we gave you a sneak preview of before. Rose's camera, we'll call that today.
Hello. What's
Rose is sporting a new hairstyle today.
Yeah,
a
and it
close,
looks rad.
a close shave, if I've ever seen one.
Looks beautiful.
Well, we can admire that through the whole show. I've only got two hands. One
Good thing I
hand
have
to
a free
run the
one.
show, one to smoke the weed. I'm smoking great weed here today. I don't know, this has got to be a mixture of Girl Scout cookies, Thai lights, and some Congolese, believe it or not.
Congolese.
We got dabs
Yummy.
too. You can't see but a portion of this unit today. But that'll throw our camera out of focus.
Just a wee bit. You just get to see a little bit of it.
That's
It's like a tease.
Sublimator is keeping us dabbed today. And speaking of Sublimator, that crew's still in the Canary Islands, I believe. We sent Al down there with a series of clues looking for Kush Queen. So the
Haven't heard much from him.
little yellow tweeting bird kind of tricked him up, and off they went to the Canary Islands.
Yeah, exactly.
Ta-da-ta.
Where they
Putty-tat.
forgot about Kush Queen and are staying now. I'm not in the picture anymore.
No. Yeah, I don't know. She was off to the hot springs again.
Oh, I just got back. It was so nice. If you guys haven't been to the hot springs, you got to go at least once. Harrison Hot Springs. I mean, it's not the real hot springs. You don't get to sit in the real hot springs. But it's really nice experience. Beautiful lake, beautiful hiking trails. I went on a
Any
nice hike.
old hot springs will do.
Yeah, absolutely. The water is beautiful. I got an awesome massage, like the wickedest massage I think I've ever had. So
Wow.
it was definitely a good time. It was a birthday celebration for the Kush Queen. So, yeah.
Nice. Wow. I had no such massagery go on, but I can certainly attest to hot springs. Fairmont Hot Springs is a nice one. There's lots of them in BC, actually. I can't keep up with this
There's
exchange.
a natural hot springs north of here in Allard River on the way to Yukon. It's really beautiful.
I'd love
it's
to
so
go.
private and so beautiful. If you don't like deep water, there's like a little stream, the hot springs water, you know, that's how it's fed. And it's really not too hot, you know, it's really nice.
Yeah.
And it's pretty private, and you can camp there. And
Oh, I'd love to
beautiful.
go.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can ever go for a drive.
Sitting in a body of hot water is totally up my alley.
A little bit of
It's
travel
necessary,
Canada.
Totally.
Now, what? Want to say, come visit us at Vancouver Seed Bank. Thanks to Mr. Cookie for coming in and taking over while we do the show. I saw Rebecca is in the house too. Hope she comes over and joins us. Rebecca, come join us.
Come say hello.
I have 2 joints now.
Double jointed.
Nice.
Winding up for 420.
Boom, a hand.
Jeez, that is
boom.
like literally just around the corner. I can't believe it's
like-
almost 420 again. I
it's like an
swear, like a couple
internal
months ago it was
device.
just 420.
Yeah, every day.
Oh, yeah,
It's
fuck.
like this
Every
internal
hour is
device
420.
that, you know, I gotta roll a joint.
We had our second meeting to put together 420, and that was a very raucous affair, actually. It's fun. Sometimes we get into such great, crazy discussions. You sit back and listen to it, and it just goes around and around. Nobody knows what anybody else is talking about.
They just have their own opinion of whatever.
Everything's already been decided, and but they still continue on, and it's just too funny. It's quite different now that Mark's involved in the meeting because he takes control pretty quick and goes, okay, you shut up now, and that's been decided, and we'll do this, and okay, now let's move on to the next thing.
Right on.
So
That's awesome.
it proves to be a much bigger and better affair than it ever has been before. We're going to have even bigger second stage this year out behind on the steps at the back of the art gallery. So we're going to take
Robson
over
Street there.
Robson Street and
Awesome.
beyond quite probably. So we're ramping it up there, and we'll have a huge lineup of musical acts and special guest speakers, and all sorts of other fun things will ensue. I think 3 of us will be there probably on stage all day.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, the other one's more like the BCMP stage, right? With the, you know, a lot
No,
of their
I think
speakers and stuff. Are they still
it's-
doing that?
Well, it is going to be. I think somebody's going to be sponsoring that stage. I'm not too sure who it is yet.
Oh.
Crop King Seeds, perhaps, is going to be
Oh.
doing that. So,
There you go.
yeah, look for a fun day there. We're hoping for great weather, and it'll be a massive turnout. We're pretty sure. So,
Yeah, just
come
put yourself
on
on the
down.
block and just keep going in circles.
If you can get to Vancouver for 420, this will be the one to make it for, I'd have to say. So, with Mark back and
Oh, God, yeah.
it's time to smoke the vote is going to be our cry.
Yeah.
I came up with the slogan at the first meeting. So that's always fun. Hey, they're going to use my slogan. I think Rose might have helped on that, too.
Yeah, his slogan. Good idea. Yeah.
But, yeah, our lawyers are still working that out. So,
He'll get half.
Yeah.
secondhand smoke the vote is what I'll get. So, yeah, welcome to everybody who's in the chat and watching Too Afraid to Get Into the Chat. I see Dr. Clone, who brought the gang sandwiches yesterday
Yeah.
from the
Workers.
courthouse.
I saw that picture. Thank you, Dr. Clone. It's very
Booth's
nice
in
of
the
you.
house, Coral's in the house.
Yeah.
A bunch of
All you
vowels
lurkers.
in a G.
Hello.
Aegeus. Truth. Be gone, huh? Wax, the most
Oh.
dangerous substance on earth.
I guess.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, you're
Yeah.
cut off.
Gotta heat up the little stick, you know. Just heat up the little stick.
Sproing. Yeah, heat it up a little bit
Yeah.
on, or just like that. Are we live? Ursa says no.
No.
We are. Yeah, this is a recording.
I was live last time I looked.
Doob's here. Jam band fans back. Nice. Well, glad you could all get in on the show today. So
Just a side note, just to let the chat know, I'm not, I'm not fucking ignoring you guys, right? I just can't see you. I know you're there. I say hello.
it's
I
it's
don't get
more
to
of
see
a-
the chat. Right?
more of a spiritual thing with Rose.
Well, yeah.
I can
no.
turn it a bit so you
Oh
can
no,
see
that's
them.
that's quite all right. I
don't
still
care.
can't see.
I don't
It's
wanna
way
see
too
them.
small. But
I don't care if I see them. Yes, I do. Of course I,
I
do.
wonder if
They're
Ursa didn't know
cute.
her time ahead.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
It's 1
It
hour
was spring
earlier
ahead,
here.
just
Well,
so you know.
It's
move your
4:11.
stuff forward. 1
Now,
hour.
Bunch of stuff going on in the marijuana world, but before we get to that, there's a couple of things that came my way this week. Now, as you know, I watch Price is Right in the morning, just so I don't have to watch news and have way more fun. But Price is Right is brought to us by Pfizer Pharmaceutical Company, and in between the ads are just full of the most horrible drugs. And interspersed with those are, of course, the lawyers who are suing the drug companies for a lot of these drugs. Now, the one that the lawyers were suing about today was called Zofran. And what they were suggesting is that if you had a baby who was somehow deformed and you were taking Zofran while you were pregnant, you could get in on this class action suit that's going on. Now, so I looked this shit up. It's prescribed for fucking pregnant women. It's to stave off nausea. And they actually use it mostly, nausea from chemotherapy. But they also give it to pregnant women because of morning sickness. And it's found now to be fucking deforming their babies. Now,
Wow.
I went on 3 different pages out on the internet about finding information about Zofran. Not one of them mentioned that they're in the middle of any lawsuit or that the possibility exists because
Just go to their website.
the FDA has approved this. They determine whether or not something after they approve it can be given to a pregnant woman, and it's on the list that it can be given to a pregnant woman. The only warning that they showed was that don't give it to children under 4.
Oh, but 5,
5
6, and 7, that's all good.
5-year-olds, give them the Zofran and
Yeah,
keep
you're all good.
moving. They might be nauseous. You don't want a child ever to be nauseous.
No, of course not.
So,
A joke. That's a joke.
now, of course,
That's all I can say is it's a joke.
now I bring this up, of course, because the world is now, marijuana, you can't let a pregnant woman have marijuana. Fuck off. You'll give Zofran to them, approved by the FDA, approved by everybody that says it's okay, and now, yeah, you fucks. So, that pissed me off. Now, another thing that watched this thing on TV the other day, and that was about the origins of life on the planet. And at some point, they got to when humans emerged, and they talked about how they all started in this one place and all branched out from there, and which, of course, doesn't make a lot of sense. But I thought to myself, gee, I wonder when it got to the point where they went, there's not much room here, right? Like, you're on the whole Earth. People have not migrated away from this first tribe of people yet. And they go,
Yeah.
I wish a bunch of you people would branch off and, go travel off to Tibet or something. How the fuck did that happen and why? Is it like, hey, we've run out of room?
Yeah.
So that got me to thinking about when it was the first one of these elbows, came out. Hey, come on,
we
buddy.
got no room here.
Hey, buddy,
Move over.
over.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, it's like, fuck you,
Yeah,
and then one's
exactly.
gone, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Move down the road.
I think Rose
Have
has,
your own
has
language.
a song. Don't you have a song prepared for us about that?
Oh, yeah. Ringia is alive. We don't come from China. And you don't come from monkeys. And that ain't a lie. Ooh, I don't know what they're saying, but it ain't true.
But it ain't
That's
true.
about all I got.
It ain't true.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're saying, but
It was
true.
interesting that they're still putting so much stuff on television that really comes from heavily religious tainted sort of perspective, and
to say
just
the
taking random things and supposing, right? A lot of supposition, no facts.
A lot of supposition.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know what supposition is, like tough.
Like tough.
Yeah, you're online. Google
Google
that
it.
shit.
You're on your own, buddy.
Google that. Google supposition. There's breakfast, lunch, and supposition. But as we go on, now, of course, here in Vancouver, the big thing that's going on is the court case, Allard versus Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, keeper of the realm. Eh? Our realm.
Yeah.
Eh?
It's the biggest
Kinda
welfare
wanna give her
case
one
in
of these.
Britain.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Just
Come on.
There's not enough room for you.
Liz, move over.
move over. Move
The,
along.
that turd up in Buckingham Palace there. Yeah, the biggest welfare case in Britain, right?
So, at the case here in Vancouver, they have been bringing forth their expert witnesses. Now, a couple of days ago, or yesterday even, they brought the Crown brought in Len Garis, who's the fire chief in Surrey, British Columbia, as their expert witness.
Oh, they're expert witness.
Surrey at that.
Now,
Nice.
this is why the title of today's show is called Liar, Liar.
Yeah.
Len Garis's pants are on fire. Now, this is not new to me. I covered Len Garis probably 10 years ago now, and entitled the show that I did about it the very same thing. So, told ya, don't listen to fucking Len Garis. This guy is a bozo clown working for the RCMP interests and also conservative interests out of Abbotsford and the Fraser Valley University that only lets you in if you swear to God.
Like, how does a guy like that get elevated so incorrectly? You know, I don't get it, man.
Oh, because they got a little program, him and
Like,
Daryl Pluckus.
wow.
But
It still blows my mind, you know, that society is still so backwards right, this way.
certainly in Surrey they are, but Surreyites, the councillors there figured out how they could cash in on marijuana prohibition because so many people were actually growing weed in Surrey because rents are cheap because no one wants to
Yeah.
live in Surrey.
Nope.
The councillors don't get that part yet. It's not that people don't want to live in Surrey because they're growing marijuana. Just nobody wants to live there.
Oh.
But in the court case, the Allard side was tearing Len Garis a new hole. He came with his little affidavit as an expert witness, and he had nothing to back up the statements that he'd made in the entire affidavit. In fact, he spelled affidavit wrong. but who wouldn't? It's not an easy word to spell. Vlad, do you know how to spell affidavit? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I can't even
He doesn't even, can't even say it.
I know.
kidding.
I'm Vlad the Inhaler is off camera.
Hello.
Yeah.
Did you call them idiots? Ah,
I don't know what he said.
yeah. That's Vlad who comes and plays guitar. We had a big jam night. Vlad was all whipped up on LSD. And everybody else was he still is, yeah. He went to work this morning too, but it didn't matter.
He just kind of came over and melted into the corner of the couch. You know, hasn't really said much.
I don't know. Maybe he didn't want me to tell everyone that.
Way to go, marijuana man.
I outed
Now,
Vlad
if his
and
grandma's
psychedelic
watching-
experience.
If his grandma's watching. He's going to be in a lot of trouble. No.
Vlad's not your real name, though, is it? Vlad's not your real name.
Vladislav.
Oh, Vladislav. He corrected me, so it is his real name. And he was doing LSD last night, Ma. If your mom's watching.
Hey, Mom.
Fucking naked.
That's where
spinning around
Vlad
in
was.
Circles here, out of his mind.
Was
You
he?
know what LSD's like. Tribal. So
Good thing he was
tribal
wearing
stuff,
a guitar, eh?
Yeah, the only thing he had on was his guitar.
Oh.
And a little pick. And a tiny little pick. Hey? The rest of the room, of course, we were talking about that all through 420. Happy 420 out there.
Oh my God! I'm sorry. That image just was in my head. Sorry.
Wow, you should come down to jam night on
Vlad
Tuesday
running
nights
around
and
with
see
his
for
guitar.
yourselves.
Oh my God!
I've never seen
smiling.
so much nudity. It's like Woodstock.
Oh,
in here.
That was
Mud,
so
too.
good.
There was
that
mud.
was so good.
Lots of mud.
Hey, there's Rebecca in the house.
Hello.
Hey.
You should come and join Rose on the couch. Thanks a lot.
Downstairs. you
Yeah,
can
I
get-
got these at Costco.
You can get these downstairs
Yeah.
in all sizes and colors.
Oh, we're
Different
all wearing them now.
colors.
They're always getting new colors. We got the first batch, and I think there's a new batch that has variants of colors now. And they're, you know what?
They're so.
Listen, I got a
comfy.
funny story about these pants. We were out for dinner and we were eating Japanese, and I just turfed like a big bowl of miso soup, just like all over myself. And it was so fucking cold outside. I'm going, oh my God, I'm going to
darkness
freeze
and
to
not
death when I
live.
get home. And before I get home, but guess what? These things, they dried. So if you ever spill a glass of water or tea on yourself, don't worry. You'll be fine.
It's a little bit Back to the Future. It's like
It's neat, and
It's-
it's
it was
quite
incredible.
warm for considering most of these things are very cold.
Yeah.
Right, just so you people know,
Well.
women get cold to look good. I haven't
It
worn
is
those
very
since I was
breezy. It's
12,
like
I think.
nothing.
Well, before we carry on, I want to clear up some technical situation. They're saying
Are we
we're-
live?
They're saying we're not live.
Can you guys chat with us? Nothing? No?
Black screen at 420. It said. Our screen's
There it
good.
says, hello? Can you see us?
Oh.
No? On and off?
Lost internet connection.
oh yeah, those are cool cans. Cool.
We're still recording, but not live. Attempting to reconnect. It says. What the fuck?
Are we off?
Well,
I think
and
we are.
off.
Well,
Down
we're
here is where we've got to look.
we're
It keeps
still
going
recording.
red, then yellow, then green, then back to red.
Perfect streaming.
That sounds
Whoa, there we go. Hi.
So that's all. That's really all you'll ever need to know about that.
Yeah, that's the secret
Like,
to it.
yeah.
If you really, really want to make
And
it
it's-
perfect, that's the secret. Simple.
So thanks a lot to Rebecca for telling us about that.
Thank you, hon.
No problem. Anytime.
So welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good to be here.
First time. Well, it's not the first time you were on my show. Second.
Maybe second. Yeah.
Yeah, I got it written down. Right
Documented.
here, actually. How's life?
It's good. Busy. Busy as ever.
Rebecca, of course,
Says
is
the
the owner
audio
of the
is low.
Vancouver Seed Bank, and technically my boss now, and I'm
Oh,
thrilled.
that's true. That's weird. Yeah. I don't think of it that way at all. Yeah.
Oh, weird. Oh, well. That's never a good sign when your boss says, hey, that's weird. You work for me? Huh.
Really? That's weird. That's good to know. Huh. All right. Noted. Good thing I showed up today.
No, we've known each other a very long time and have been comrades in arms throughout these years. And Rebecca has done tremendous work for the advancement of the legalization of marijuana in this community and beyond.
Got her. Thanks.
And we thank you for that. You've always stood up and coughed up and really held it up at all of our rallies and all of our supporting functions. So good on you.
Thanks. It's been fun over the years.
And I'm glad that the seed business has been kind enough to keep you going and growing beyond that.
Definitely. Seed business has done very right by me, no doubt. Got a lot of amazing opportunities and traveling and met some amazing people. So it's been awesome for me too.
Yeah, it's a fun thing. I'm really enjoying selling the seeds again too, and getting back to seeing all the growers and would-be growers, and hasn't changed much.
Totally. It's funny how it all just fell right back into place again, all at the right time. It was just meant to be, it seems.
Totally.
Yeah, that's what my life is like. Actually, I just pinball from thing to thing. And I love it. So, yes, we were talking about the medical marijuana case going on in the courts. I've been following the tweeting of Jeremiah.
Yeah, I've been following the cannabis culture tweets, and also John Buffalo has been tweeting pretty consistently as well from the courthouse. So that's how I've been getting my updates from.
It's way too loud for me, all this tweeting, but I sure wouldn't want to be there in the courtroom with that fucking racket going on. Holy cow. Click, 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 click. People going. I'm not sure how. I really don't get how they're allowed to do that. But there's nothing you can.
Yeah, exactly.
But you can't hold up a microphone silently and broadcast it live. I don't think so. I don't think so.
That's why they have sketches. But I guess
I thought they were just being artsy with the sketches. I just thought, no, I'm just kidding.
They're just getting artsy with it.
We just want to bring a little artistic flair. This is so boring, this courthouse. This is a charcoal caricature guy.
sit there and listening to them with their procedurals, right?
Yeah.
Well, we keep losing internet connection.
It's really annoying.
But we're still. The show's still being recorded, so it'll go on.
The show must go on.
Yeah.
On the slide,
I'd eat it for sure.
that little stick, that little thing is.
I was featured once in one of those court drawings
That's funny.
when
Can
Mark
you
and I
request,
were.
like, a copy of it? Like,
I would love to find it. That's for sure.
It's on archive.
Huh.
Yeah, I'd love to, because Mark and I had to come in for a bail hearing after we got raided by the DEA, and yeah, they. I don't know if I ever saw it. The cellmates, when I got back to the block afterwards, told me that that's where they saw us on TV, and that we were in the drawings.
This is ringing a bell, actually.
Yeah, you could just go to the courthouse and for a fee, a search fee, and a fee for the pages that you want copies of, and then they stamp them that they're really from there. No kidding.
That's cool. Get that
Yeah.
framed. That'd be nice.
That changed my world inside that day. You get cred right away when you're seen on TV and in your orange suit in a drawing. Wow, that guy is cool. You go, well, I was here live yesterday. You didn't think I was cool. In the orange suit too.
In the orange suit and
Somehow this
all.
artist has made me cool. But what? Yeah, Len Garis, the lying fire chief. They no, I won't even talk about him. They're just tearing him apart. Now the other witness that they had in there today was, I don't know, the Crown brought in a guy to explain to the fucking court all the things that are going on in the United States. I think I could have said, Your Honor, I'm not sure what this is, how this is relevant to Canada and Canada law and the medical marijuana scheme in Canada and this particular case. Your Honor, how does this apply to anything? It doesn't. It doesn't matter what point you're trying to make. You're in a
Yeah.
fucking foreign country making your point.
It's so stupid. Like, where else would you see that? Do you think Americans are bringing in, like, Canadians from
No.
other places to prove their point in, like,
Yeah, no.
Superior Court or whatever it is?
Well,
As
in
if.
Thailand, they cut your fucking hands off
Yeah.
for marijuana. How about that, Your Honor?
Yeah.
Well, how does this apply? What difference does it make? And In Jamaica, they just decriminalized in every Rasta can grow 5 plants, which is such a stupid thing. Already, I'm tired of plant limits.
Yeah.
Like,
At least
really?
they've relaxed it a little bit, but it's definitely not. They should just fully legalize it in Jamaica because people are still going to get ticketed for it, and then if they can't pay those tickets, they're going to go to jail. So it's a slightly better system, but it's still not. Still not
Just
all the way.
another scheme. You're hearing this too, peeping out from the progressive conservatives or whatever they're called now, about the HARP seal government. But they're talking about harping again about ticketing. Because the Canadian chiefs of police said it was a good idea to keep us working, keep them working.
Yeah, it's such a
They want to give
compromise.
out
It's
tickets.
a super lame compromise between the government and the police.
But they're gonna confuse the stupid people out there. So you stupid people.
They're already confused. I think people are Canadians are mass confused about the drug laws already.
Oh,
Every day we have
tremendously
people being like,
so.
What's the laws right now?
They're
Like,
completely
Yeah.
people are
miseducated.
so
right?
confused in general. Like they think it's legal in Vancouver, or they think it's legal in BC somehow, or
Well, there's
Well.
an old joke, you've grown up in BC if you think pot's. You're
Pretty
surprised when
much.
you find out
Yeah.
pot's illegal.
yeah, you do
Well,
have
not-
that bubble.
Not too long ago, I ran into a person from Alberta visiting out here. Ended up smoking a joint and talking about whatever. And then it came around to talking about Harper and how we hate him so much. And she said, "Oh no, he's done some really good things around marijuana. He's made this marijuana industry, the medical marijuana industry, $3 billion." She quoted everything that he'd said and wants to decriminalize it, and we think he's doing a good job. I'm going, really? She was like fucking 25 years old pot smoker kind of thing. You go, uh-oh. So you stupid people, don't get tricked by this.
Shocking.
Yeah, you don't even know who you are, but try not to get tricked by it because there was a new study. I thought the studies had ended. That was
They still
because
do.
wasn't it the last study?
Yeah, the last bunch were studied to death.
So
They didn't have the answers that the conservative wanted, though, so we have to do
Positive
more studies.
findings and
but there is a new
Do
study.
studies with the findings they want.
oh, the negatives.
This was a study done by the University of Washington in Washington State. And the headline says that teens and adults hazy about Washington State laws. Yeah, hazy. Now, this University of Washington study was published in the ever-popular magazine Substance Use and Misuse.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
I have a subscription. It's great.
I had one, but I let it lag. I couldn't afford it for a couple months, and
It's not to be
then I
confused
could. And
the other publication. What was that?
well, we'll get to that one later.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'll be giving away my jokes.
Don't be giving away my jokes.
I know the story. So.
Yeah, Rose helps me write the show. But yeah, the new study. Yeah, of course, I saw it first in my issue when it arrived of substance use and misuse, and I'm not too sure which side of the fence I'm on about it. But now here's what some of the things they found: that 71% of 10th graders knew the new legal age is 21. That was one of their findings. 71% of them. 49% of those same kids didn't know how much a 21-year-old could possess.
Okay.
So, co-author of the study, Kevin, said, he said that those findings underscore the need for better educational outreach. Huh? He said, because if kids in 10th grade think the legal age is 18, they could potentially be more likely to use it later.
That makes
They
no
could
sense.
potentially be more likely.
No, they still can't. They're still going to check people's ID if you try to buy it underage, dude. That's not how that works.
Could Kevin be more
I buy
vague?
cigarettes just because I think they're legal when I'm 17 or whatever. That's weird.
Why should I take someone seriously who can't even formulate a complete sentence?
Yeah. No
Now,
doubt.
The loaded questions in surveys. They're so weird.
Kind of, sort of, maybe
Yeah,
likely.
don't use double negatives.
also, Kevin was the guy who found that they needed better educational outreach, even though that 71% of them knew.
Like that's a lot, actually.
Yeah, that's really high.
It's
I
brand new and it
think.
has nothing to do with them yet.
Yeah, in 10th grade.
Isn't that a pretty successful ratio thus far? Still,
Yeah. Intelligent
they know
10th
that,
graders.
and that's all that matters. They'll learn if they try to buy it before that age.
And who gives a shit if only 49% of them know how much that could be possessed? They shouldn't know that. Is that the problem? That too many of them knew? He didn't suggest that too many of them knew. He suggests not enough of them knew what those numbers were. Fuck off, Kevin. Quit teaching our kids shit
No
like that.
doubt. You don't know
Like, really?
anything.
Because you could be potentially more likely to lie to us because you were funded by the National Institute on Drug Abuse. And that's what you're crying about. You want to keep fucking researching this. You don't want to lose your job either, Kevin. Right? And National Institute on Drug Abuse doesn't want to be completely disbanded and their building burned to the ground for what they've done either. Right? So this is why they're giving you money to go out and say, are these people informed about the laws in Washington State? Who gives a fuck? Go and ask them about gun laws. Go and ask them about alcohol laws. Go and ask them about any law.
Exactly.
In 10th grade.
I'm a little more worried about what people who are the age of consent, who can vote,
They don't even know their own
you
rights
obtain
in the 10th
alcohol,
grade.
You know, guns, whatever.
Do you know what I
have to say
mean?
than
It's
what
like,
a group
fuck.
of grade 10 kids. Like, what the fuck do I care about that, right? Really, like, you know, all these studies involving children, I wonder if they're even ethical for number one, because they are underage. And, you know, yeah, like,
Well, yeah,
initially,
there's
so that
studies.
they're invalid just by that point alone. So any findings are just like, they're skewed, right? They're skewed and they're only published when they're negative, right, in favor of what they wanted to say. Right?
Well-
Which any fool can do, obviously.
Kevin. Like Kevin.
Kevin.
This
hi,
one.
Kevin, watching.
They just completely ignored the results of their study and went with what they wanted to say anyway. They go, we're not reaching enough people. Like 71% of 10th graders? Holy fuck. I don't think anyone in the history of ever trying to reach 10th graders has achieved that
Yeah,
percentage.
get on Twitter and I'm sure you'll reach the other percentage that you need. You'll
Like
be
a
fine.
fire alarm at the school will only get half of them out of their seats.
It's true.
Really?
They're like, it's false alarm. We're gonna line up.
Yeah,
We're gonna
the other
go
one half that's
here.
outside is texting
You know,
the
half
half
the
that's
other people are
inside.
smoking
and
in the
saying,
bathroom.
"Jail's
They don't
good."
care. It's like, oh my god.
Well, here's some sad news from Utah. Remember Utah?
Oh,
And last week?
Yeah.
state or
Last week's show.
Yeah,
Dun
last
dun
week's
dun.
Kill the Wabbit. Well,
Kill the wabbit. Kill the wabbit.
the Utah Parliament or whatever the hell they're called, Senate, what did they do? They rejected the medical marijuana pot bill. They said no. I don't know if you watched last week's show, but one of the big warnings from the DEA agent, Matt, was that the rabbits would be in danger if medical marijuana was legalized.
Really?
Well, you say really, but he personally saw a rabbit not leave the marijuana patch when they came to it. Even though they removed the marijuana plants from around it, it still did not have the wherewithal to leave.
What?
It had cultivated, and he said cultivated, a taste for marijuana.
Yeah,
That is
cultivated
tragic.
was the word he
That
used.
is the most tragic thing I've ever heard.
Not quite as...
bunnies, you know?
Yeah, like the Holy Grail. That bunny was probably
Yeah. Run
on,
away,
on the
run
mad
away.
meat.
It was about 3 feet
Totally. You couldn't see it in the movie, but he was guarding a pot field. That's
Well,
what happens.
those rabbits who are now protected because medical marijuana did not pass in Utah can now just, well, they just shoot them anyway. That's all they do with them is shoot them. So
Well, rabbit
now
life
they're
is more
safe to
valuable
be
than
shot.
Human life, Greg.
Huh?
I think rabbit life is more valuable than human life in Utah. That must be what
No,
that means.
it's not actually. They are called game, small game. They're called with pelts. Small game with
The
pelts.
Senate of Utah has other priorities, though. You got to keep those rabbits
well.
safe and not high on the weed.
Well, if they were high on the weed, they couldn't run away from your shotgun
Yeah,
either.
like, isn't that kind of an advantage
You could
over
pick them
others?
off for miles. So sad news for the good news for the rabbits. I'm glad.
News for the rabbits.
That one rabbit's gonna go down in history of like civilization of rabbits.
Yeah. Long live the
Funny.
black-tailed
Standing
jackrabbit.
around, bunny rabbit.
Utah has more species of rabbits. Well, we covered this last week.
So much.
Now, interestingly enough, a headline in Vancouver about Len Garis, the lying fire chief, said that he had a cultural bias against marijuana users.
That's really bad because I think technically he should be more concerned about kitchen fires and fires in schools.
They don't
But
do
instead
nothing.
He's completely sidetracked because of his personal bias against weed. I kind of feel less safe now because he's obviously
He's like taking it, like he's making it personal now.
If he was really
Totally.
looking at the statistics, he would be, hey, let's look at people's kitchens. Like, let's make sure people's ovens are properly like wired. Let's make sure people are smoking safely indoors as much as possible because these are what actually cause fires.
Don't fall
Instead
asleep
he's
while
like-
you're cooking pork chops.
Yeah, these kind of things. But instead he's targeting gardens, and it really is arbitrary because you can have a garden and be growing tomatoes and use the exact same lights, the exact same type of system as you would for cannabis, and that would be totally fine. But it could be just as dangerous.
But no one does that.
Cannabis and vegetables together, is that only half as safe or half as dangerous?
Like, there's nothing that makes cannabis inherently more dangerous.
Just makes you a slave
grow
to the
than-
vegetables.
Well, let's look at
Plain
it
and simple.
beyond that, right? Yeah, but if you look at the bigger picture, how much it costs to rent anything or own something around here, and the danger level of that alone, because you have to take substandard, housing that may or may not be up to
In Vancouver, yeah, you
safety
It might be in
standards
Surrey.
required to grow
You might have to live in Surrey.
Surrey.
Sorry, Mick, you live in
Right
Surrey,
now.
don't you?
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Okay, well, Surrey.
yeah, so we gotta move out to Surrey, and then he's gonna, have something to say about
And
it.
when I did, I was bad mouthing it anyways.
This guy really, I'm surprised that, that the Crown side of this isn't preparing their witnesses a
They
little
never
bit.
try. The Crown is
They don't
always
even
so
try.
full of
You know,
fail. Like
I mean,
their arguments are sad.
It's terrible, isn't it?
They're not
Isn't
even
it?
trying.
They ought to
Just
be
like, whatever.
thoroughly, and I hope they're
We're
thoroughly
gonna be
embarrassed.
Done.
Well,
They don't even try.
as we watch it and hear it unfold, we go, oh, Crown's goofy, stupid. You go, wait a second. These are the same people. They're supposed to be getting the real bad guys, too. Are they this bad at doing that?
Well,
Are all these
Purposeful
people...
incompetence, or is it just incompetence?
Are they just
Like,
incompetent?
Does Health Canada design the marijuana medical program to fail, or are they just?
Oh, they're just not... They couldn't be smart enough to
Both,
design
I
it to
feel.
fail.
If it worked, wouldn't it sort of prove the government wrong? Because they'd be like, well, it's working, so maybe we could just legalize it because it's inherently not that dangerous. It's sort of a double-edged sword for the government because if the medical marijuana program works and it's normal and the sky doesn't fall, then they have a lot of answers or answers that they need.
Well, you think the sky might fall? Let me just read this to you.
story time with marijuana.
Imagine a world in which tourists visit towns like Asbury Park, not for the beaches and historical boardwalk, but to get stoned on super potent legal marijuana. Homeless young people flocking to our area to do drugs without fear of repercussions. Stores in downtown Red Bank or Freehold offering an array of pot-laced products like candy bars and ice cream which not only lure adult users, but are also quite appealing to the children.
Children. The children.
There's more. In this world, hospitals like Jersey Shore University Medical Center would likely treat the increasing number of patients suffering from marijuana intoxication, as well as the children.
As opposed to alcohol intoxication that they usually get.
As well as the children admitted to the intensive care units after infusing their parents' pot-infused candy. And while area schools deal with students selling pot edibles they bring from home, local police departments dedicate law enforcement resources to combating stoned drivers on our local roadways. This is what's ahead for anybody who wants to legalize marijuana.
Is this Colorado, or where are they describing right
No, this is what'll happen in New Jersey.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. you
Now,
said
if you think this is a joke, these are actual real-life issues taking place in states like Colorado.
And can you hear them talking like
I
Archie Bunker?
totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Wow.
Now, states which are being forced to confront the very real and very harmful consequences of legal marijuana, and they could happen here in New Jersey.
Is it, you mentioned Jersey Shores Hospital?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
That
that in the same, like, area where that show, Jersey Shores,
Yeah.
with those
Yeah,
model
where they're, like-
citizens came from?
Yeah,
Yeah.
lots of drinking happening in our
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
like
Oh,
you made
totally.
a really good point. Like, is
Everyone gets
comparatively
hammered
versus
there.
alcohol, pills, you know, heroin, crack, meth, whatever is out
definitely
there.
be having too much of a
Now,
lot of
this
stuff.
this article and statement was made by a New Jersey Republican member of the legislature there named Mary Pat. Mary Pat. Mary Pat Angelini. That's
Angelini.
the Angelini's her connection to the
Angelini.
Jersey Shore, right?
Italian.
Mary Pat. Well, it turns out when you look a little deeper,
I think that's my
Mary
cousin.
Pat, she makes her living as the CEO of something called Preferred Behavioral Health Group.
That sounds so insidious.
Preferred Behavioral Health Group.
A subsidiary of Scientology.
Mary Pat. Mary Pat, she's got no education behind any of this stuff. She got a degree down at the University of Tennessee.
In
Mary
theology.
Pat Angelini. Down here. Yeah, in nothing. Right?
Political science.
So,
Oh, man.
here's what the Preferred Behavioral Health Group does is provide innovative wellness through compassionate care.
Okay,
Innovative
that sounds all right.
wellness. These people can't even speak English.
I like to
Mary
be innovative
Pat.
and well, Greg. I don't see anything wrong with that.
Huh?
Innovative wellness. That sounds nice.
With behavioral
Oh, is this-
adjustments.
Is this the part where
Yeah,
they think
that's on the side. That's in the
We
fine
provide-
print, right?
Is this like saying you're gonna put me in a sensory deprivation tank for a while and do some ayahuasca and then I'll feel better?
Yeah,
Is like
no,
that what that
Well, I'm going to
entails?
go out and get me some wellness
Yes,
right after
I'm
this
a
show.
innovative wellness.
No, move
Big
over.
bucket of
I don't like that.
big
I
bucket
don't like
of
that. We ain't got
wellness.
no room for that.
Mary Pat.
Mean.
Mary Pat is up to her fucking eyeballs in making sure that nobody does drugs. That she spent her whole life doing that. And that's and
no,
that's
it's
what
Innovative at
She
all,
needs a
lady.
punch.
That's
Yeah.
totally false advertising.
yeah.
Mary Pat.
She
Angelini.
has her own agenda. Now she's going to and is starting a group in New Jersey to fight the legalization movement that is swelling up there. She is an elected government fucking official. I would tell her to get the fuck out of town so fast.
Fuck
yeah.
You do not get to do both.
Yeah, that's-
You do
that's-
not get to
that's
do
not
both,
cool at
Mary
all.
Pat.
No,
No,
That
Mary
is a
Pat.
conflict of interest if I ever heard one.
Well, wasn't her hubby a
trying to have a
lifetime
cake and
cop too? This is the whole connection there. Hubby was a dare cop for fucking 9 years. Now he's on the school. He's a school board trustee down there in
Dynamic duo of
Jersey
both
Shore.
places.
They don't want to lose their reputation at Asbury Park. The only thing that came out of Asbury Park was Bruce Springsteen, and he probably doesn't live there anymore.
Yeah, I think everybody left there around 1970 or something. You know, everybody
Yeah.
kind of just took off.
Do you think that, like, the show, that reality show, the Jersey Shore, is like how you want people to think of your state, because that's pretty much what they think of
That's
now.
They
what's representing.
totally
you know,
think that.
where you
Well,
go,
they-
Like The Sopranos and that stupid show.
Yeah.
Oh
is
yeah,
all
The
I
Sopranos,
know.
they're so fucking tough. Their whole show's being run by a fucking white bread Christian Mary Pat from Tennessee.
Sister Mary Pat.
Hey,
gonna kick
the
your
Southerner
ass.
came up and is running the Jersey
She's
Shore
got
for you
connections.
folks. What the
Don't
fuck
follow
is
Mary
that?
Pat, yo.
Oh yeah,
Got nothing on us.
Robert Angelini has a
Yeah.
connection, eh?
Yeah, Angelini. That's a family name for
They're
sure.
all
They're from
crooks.
Sicily. What?
They're all crooks. Here, speaking of crooks, here's something funny. In Casa Grande, Arizona, of course, you know everybody knows Casa Grande out there, Highway 10 and 8. Mick, you know that, eh? Yes.
Columbia. That's all you gotta say.
Yeah, Columbia is
Just
the
say
answer.
Columbia.
So,
There you go.
in Casa Grande, Arizona, the police gave chase to a white SUV, not the, still had O.J. Simpson in it. No, it didn't. They gave chase to this SUV because, according to they claim to, because of an earlier investigation, they came upon information that led them to believe they should chase this truck. So off they did. They went to a huge high-speed chase that went on for a very long time. And while they chased them, the guys in the white SUV tossed bales of marijuana out.
Yeah,
21 bales of marijuana, as it turns out.
To be exact, eh?
like, I don't think it works if people are watching you toss it out, then you might as well just hang on to it.
I think you're
Yeah.
supposed to get rid of it when nobody's looking.
Yeah.
Dude, what are
I
we
think
going to
that's
do?
the
The
point.
cops are chasing us. Oh, throw the
Quick,
weed
throw
out.
it out. They'll never catch us. They'll never catch us.
What marijuana?
Yeah, these boys, they tossed out everything. They tossed out 21 bales of marijuana, their cell phone, and then the
Tough
cops.
break, kids.
Yeah.
Try again.
Just say it's not mine. Just deny it.
Yeah. And however,
Oh well. That's all you can do.
the good part about the story was that the police were only able to recover 17 of the bales. Cops could only recover 17 of the 21 bales.
So there were people that were
Pass-
watching probably drank 4 of them all, right?
Passing motorists went and picked them up. So,
Pulled over your car
Hey.
and went
Hey,
through it in a trunk.
if I was able, I would do it.
what happened to Kush Queen?
Ran away.
Wow, she is fast.
Ran away.
Well, I don't have a joint, and nobody. The supplementer's off. Holy cow! Things are going to hell here without Al.
Hey, what's happening?
Yeah.
Evil.
So, yeah, I don't know what the boys were thinking how they were going to get away with that, but I'm sorry they didn't, actually. So, you might go out there on the interstate out by Casa Grande and just have a
I'll tell my
have a
parents.
drive
In the
around.
wintertime, and I'll tell them. I say, like, I can't visit you guys. There's no weed out there. And apparently I'm wrong. I'm just going to fucking drive on the side of the highway a little bit.
Well,
Follow cops.
Yeah.
yeah, that's a perfectly good idea.
Something.
That's
Yeah,
not a
it
bad
was
idea.
You might fall out of it.
There are little valleys and nooks that enjoy really nice grass and fertile
That's a
soil.
very good idea to follow
It's
cops
very
around
old.
and pick up. It's like following a feeding shark, right? Those fish that follow them around, they get the little bits of stuff that the shark doesn't take, right? So as the cops are walking around the city and kids are firing their weed onto the ground to get away from them, you go pick it up and go, hey, I got some. Right? I'll bet you could do all right.
Just like keep walking like nothing's going on.
So during this chase, you
Tail
can
on your
see
coat.
you can see these bales of marijuana being tossed out of this car and bouncing around on the highway, and smashing open a
Well,
couple of
yeah,
them.
they smash
One of them
open.
smashed open and just sprayed the front of the windshield of the cop car as he was driving through it.
Fucking awesome. Woo!
course, they're
This
now
is just
now being
becoming
charged
more
with
epic.
assaulting a police officer with dank weed, with the dank. They threw dank at us, Sarge.
It's pretty much the only way you can really like hurt yourself with weed is like getting it thrown at you somehow.
Isn't there a joke like that? If
Yeah.
a bale
Yeah.
fell out of the sky and
Barrel
actually
coming out of a
hit you
van,
square
going,
on,
I
you
don't
might
know how
kill
many
you.
miles an hour down a highway. Yeah,
Certainly.
that might hurt.
There's no documented case of that. to my
It
knowledge.
certainly qualifies to be an article in substance use and misuse.
And
I
misuse.
would say, but.
Sister Mary Pat.
So, speaking of Sister Mary Pat, now, at this fucking behavioral center, I don't know, they had 3 different divisions and on the board of trustees. Mary Pat was on every board of trustee, and one of these divisions was run by somebody named Sister something or other.
Oh,
And
great.
it's like
Sister
this
Mary Pat.
twisted Christian fucking bullshit. Now, I don't know. I saw this little stupid thing about the six guys who are fixing on running for the Republican ticket in the United States or whatever, and they all were asked about their marijuana use. And fucking way too many of them said, "Oh, I tried that when I was younger, but we all make mistakes when we're younger." You go, dude, like, really?
Kush Queen has to escape early.
Well,
Sorry.
I never. I did once. That was all right.
Yeah. Anyways,
Lovely to see you.
good
Thanks
to
for
see you. I'll
coming by.
see you next week.
Okay.
Thanks, chat. I'll
Say
see you guys
goodbye,
next
chat.
week. Ciao, ciao, ciao. And bye, Rebecca
Yes.
and Vlad and everyone else.
Back to the spa.
Yeah, off to the spa. Gotta go.
Nice. Yeah. So back to the spa for the queen. She doesn't have time for us underling subject types, serfs, if you will.
Well, speak for yourself.
Of course I am. Now, what else happened? There's a lot of stuff. Here was a guy, Henry. Everybody knows Henry down
Henry,
in
friend
down
of
in-
Matt and Kevin.
I know.
Well, no, he's down in Burleson County, Texas. Henry, on December 19th last year, Henry was asleep in his bed and he heard his door open and being broken down. And, like many residents of Burleson County, he had his gun by his bed. And he killed whoever smashed in through his back door.
I guess so.
Turned out it was a SWAT officer, and they were busting in on a warrant because of his tiny little marijuana grow-op that he had. And so this all went to court, and it just finally finished up, and Henry was found not guilty of murder.
Oh, good.
And the reason that he was found not guilty of murder is because the SWAT team didn't knock.
They didn't announce themselves.
No, it
They
said
had a
they did not
They
knock.
didn't knock. Like
So-
they didn't.
Yeah.
They just
Supposed
smash,
to-
boom, bang, right? Like they could have
Knock
just.
before you snap
And
it.
I agree with the judge in this case that bad manners, that if you don't knock, I can kill you.
It's the
You
difference
don't
between
knock
a
in
home
Texas,
invasion and a visit.
you could get killed. Right?
Yeah, it's like go big
I
or
think
go home,
even just
right?
on somebody's property, like you don't even have to, right? Like,
He didn't knock, Your Honor. He didn't knock.
Yeah.
it's the difference between a home invasion and a visit. Is knocking.
Yeah, but wait,
Yeah.
that's not the worst
It
part.
is.
That's
It
not
comes
the
down to
worst part,
knocking.
right? Like, this guy's day got worse. You know?
He did get charged with possession of marijuana for the purpose of trafficking,
Yeah, he
didn't
was
he?
charged with fucking possession.
Yeah, as it turned out, he did get charged with possession, and because there was a gun near the marijuana, that complicates his charges. Hey, the gun was near the marijuana. Yeah, killing the cop that didn't knock.
Yeah, I can just like write that off, but
Well, at least he
Yeah.
beat,
Get
at least
real.
he beat that, so they're being appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah, the letter of the
it
law.
does. But you know, even though it's correct in this case, the law sends the wrong message, right?
Oh,
It sends the right message for those right, whatever, progressive types, you know, and conservative people.
the message it should send
You
is
know,
there's some
other
problems with the
interested
law
parties.
and the way it's enforced.
And you know,
Well,
it doesn't serve anybody, you know, except that very, you know, small minority.
two studies that came my way via Rose's sharp journalistic skills was cannabis may combat aging of the brain.
Yeah, I do a lot of, research neurology and cannabis, and everybody's got these theories, but there's a lot of really good, tight information out there, that doctors who've been studying this for a long time, and not just from a prohibitive funding or anything like that. They got a lot of good things to say. It looks hopeful. They're validating what I've
May
known for a
combat
very long
aging
time.
of the brain.
And I think that
Who
people
knew that
smoke a
brain
lot, they're
aged?
pretty sharp, even well into their 80s, 90s,
Definitely hear a lot of people finding that it helps with dementia as well. Like
Yeah, it's preventative. Yeah.
preventative,
Oh,
and
absolutely.
also it seems to like kind of stop any further progression of it if it's already starting in older people.
Yeah.
So, yeah, smoking.
Yeah,
or
totally.
Eating
Eating it,
it is
whatever.
totally harmless. So yeah, definitely. I've heard that a lot from firsthand from people our age who are giving it to their parents who are having a hard time and finding that the pharmaceuticals aren't helping. It's really sad too, because some people you really just can't take your mom or dad out anymore because they wander off or they're getting really upset and swearing at people. And
Oh, yeah, man. I had to go
Yeah.
through that. Oh, Lord.
And it would
It's
be so sad because you have your mom is this nice polite lady, and then suddenly she's just
yeah, and then she's telling the cashier to eat shit, right? I know. I've had that. And I was
exactly. So it would be so nice to just give your mom some toast with some can of butter in the morning, and just know that she's gonna be nice and calm and not be hearing voices and stuff. It must be just terrible for.
well, I don't know. The biggest challenge was to keep seniors on this,
Well.
because they don't really like feeling high.
Well, here's another side to that, though.
All right. Yeah. They don't, eh? Huh.
Here's another side to that, though, is that if they do have
Interesting.
the dementias and the Alzheimer's and fall down, another study says that marijuana is good for healing brain injuries.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
even if they're old and feeble, and they can still bounce back from the head injury, eh?
Yeah.
So you don't really need to get the seniors those stair lift things. Really, a fall down the stairs is a little bit of pot. That can be sure.
Be like Madonna.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. Here's the stupidest thing I read. Well, it's probably not the stupidest
This
thing.
is the stupidest thing you read of all the things you read us so far. Oh my god, I'm
Yeah.
scared.
Now, Oregon, of course, legalized marijuana, and they're going berserk trying to figure out how they should do that. And their idiot city council officials are getting in on the game. Medford, Oregon, they have proposed a city ordinance that you must contain the smell of your marijuana, or you will be fined $250 a day. Eh? They're just desperate, these idiots.
Making it up as you go
And we're
along.
gonna have some sort of smell measuring device now that
Yeah.
taxpayers are gonna have
Well,
to pay for. Or
like
some
what?
shit.
Who's
What
gonna
it?
enforce these
Yeah,
things?
who's
I'd
gonna
like
go
to
around
know.
Well, this is going to be the thing. Is
Based on
that
complaints.
they're going to adopt this shit, and they're going to hire people to enforce it, thereby fucking keeping cops doing jobs, right? I fucking hate this. They haven't said that, but that's what'll happen.
Well,
right?
I'd like to see
A
the
city
numbers
ordinance.
on how many city bylaw officers actually hand out tickets for people smoking where they shouldn't be, like smoking tobacco.
Or leaving their garbage out, or
leaving
having
the garbage on the fucking sidewalk.
any other smell that I've see. All it would take was a phone call to these idiots for them to
Right.
have to
So
go
it's
and
all
say,
based
"Hey,
on
your
complaints.
marijuana smelling's bothering this fucking guy."
Yeah. This entire enforcement and law system is so reliant on snitching. It's unbelievable, right?
Here-
There are stats that show that police only solve 2% of the crimes,
Yes.
right, on their own steam power, brain
Well,
power.
here's another
The rest
part of
is
the
all
ordinance.
fed to them.
Here's
So likewise with the bylaw thing, someone has to phone and complain.
Here's another part of the proposed city ordinance is that you can't grow marijuana taller than your fence. And to build a fence, you need a permit from the city.
Oh my god! And there's probably a bylaw defining how tall your fences can be.
I
Probably.
would think so.
Everywhere there is
Yeah.
on fences, there's always
It's like 9 feet here or
Girls that
something.
have like a 25-foot fence.
different
Oh.
permits. Depends.
Different.
No.
They want to know where
Zones,
it's going,
different
and then
zones.
they make your decision.
Now here's so I went online to the homepage of Medford City Oregon to find out who these nimrods are that are making these proposed city ordinances, and I came across Mayor Gary. Mayor Gary, his background, he's an optometrist. He knows everything about
Eyeballs.
everything about marijuana. Right, and the smell of it, of course.
Yeah, I hope he knows about glaucoma. and
Yeah,
how
does
good
he
it
know?
is.
Was he,
Come on, dude.
when he became mayor, was it better or worse? Eh? Having an optometrist.
Try again.
Okay, so here's the city councilors. Councillor Clay, he's a local business owner. Daniel, he works in an investment firm. Chris, he's an ex-sportscaster turned banker. Dick, he's retired from the healthcare industry. Tim, we've no info about Tim.
Oh,
Eli.
it's Tim, Greg.
Yeah,
He's Tim.
you know Tim, he's cool. Eli, he's in marketing. Kevin, his whole background is being in the Navy. And Michael, he's an engineer. And not the cool kind.
So you didn't name a single female either, did you?
I did not name a single female. There is not one on their city council.
Like the village people here.
Yeah, jeez.
Eh? The one running the
Then
fucking
Leo's-
locomotive
That was a
engineer.
big hint.
Yeah.
So, not one of these people has the wherewithal to know fuck all about anything. They should not be allowed to make ordinances without having experts come in and consult with them.
Yeah, especially
Like,
'cause it's
really?
voted on. Like, bring off. You're just
Like,
like,
Optometrists got
Yeah.
to fucking say about this. Nothing.
just shut up.
You know, does he even consult? Does he research? Nothing. He does what the polls tell him.
It's obvious a money grab, really. if anything.
And this is true everywhere, folks. This is the background of every city councilor in every city and every town, and they have no right and should have their right taken away to make these kinds of decisions. They cannot, should not, and are not qualified to do it. They,
Again, for anything, large or small, they have
Right.
way too much,
That's
way
fucked
too
up.
much discretionary power to create another fucking bylaw. You know, that's.
I wouldn't
Designed to-
shop at Clay's local
money.
business. I'd never get my eyes checked at the mayor's fucking optometry shop. I'd never ever want to be in the Navy with Kevin. Tim, I'll hang out with Tim because I don't really know what he does. But,
I used to know this song.
hey, fuck you, Medford, Oregon. And anybody who lives in Oregon, drive down there this week and say fuck you to Gary. And all these people say fuck off, shut up, and go away.
It's not a problem. The smell's not going to be
In
a
the
problem.
Navy.
We'll let you know it's
In
not
the
gonna be a
Navy.
problem.
And if you've got time, whip out to New Jersey, find Mary Pat, tell her to fuck off too. Right?
Hey, Mary Sister paddle me. What the fuck? Fucking.
Slap her with a copy of Substance Use and Misuse. I don't suggest actually hit her with it, but just miss her. Just
She'll sick God
like
on you, man.
like a Hollywood slap kind of thing. Mary Pat.
Hey, watch out.
All right.
Mary Pat will kick your ass. Be
Yeah.
handy with that thing.
That's it for me. Don't forget to tune into all the Pot TV stuff that's going on Friday. Jerry will be here with his news show live. Mick does his show on Mondays, 4 o'clock with Jade. And what? We got Redbeard on Saturday afternoon, 4 o'clock too. And what? Is there more stuff than that? Jeremiah's still tweeting from the courts. Stay tuned to that.
Yeah.
And do come and visit us here at Vancouver Seed Bank. We're here 7 days a week from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. for all of your marijuana seed shopping needs. And if you have greater needs than that, go to the other store. Because they have,
Vegetables to meters and whatnot.
yeah, tomatoes, purple carrots. You want the coolest vegetables. Since, as was determined on last week's show, we are slaves to vegetables.
We are.
Interesting.
All
Like
of
we're
us.
slaves to cats. It's the same kind of.
Pat Robertson said that.
Slaves to
Marijuana
vegetables.
smokers are slaves to vegetables.
It's great.
Pastor Pat. Yeah.
He's probably
Yeah.
got a background in political science, which makes him knowledgeable.
Pat
Background
Robertson
in
has a
smoking
background
crack.
in nothing. Absolutely no credentials. So thanks a lot, Rebecca, for coming by. Good to see you as always. And Rose, too. Thank you for
Hello.
helping out in all the wonderful ways you do. And Vlad, good to see you. Sorry if we were bringing you down from your
Can't see 'em.
extreme LSD high that you're on.
Well, it's good to come down in a safe place.
Yeah. We'll talk you down. Good. Mick Mann, thanks for being in the room. You couldn't hear him. You could not hear him, but he was here in spirit. And we could hear him. And Fred and Dale are over here on the South Couch, as I like to call it. Fredable is always here on Tuesday nights, getting the kids just fucking ripped with his edible
They kept it
food.
clean. It was a family show.
Just about. Yeah.
I did. It's yeah.
Oh, we
he
had
made
some bread earlier.
Amazing. One of the best
No,
bread
just regular
I've ever
old
eaten.
bread,
You
but
have
it's
to have a
delicious.
slice. Don't leave here without having
And thanks
a
to
slice.
Kush Queen for being here. Thanks to Al for being out in the world. And hurry back, bro. We miss you. Safe traveling out there.
Yeah.
They're off to Barcelona probably for whenever that happens. So, yeah. Fucking in the Canary Islands. Like, hurry home.
Watch
Doubt
their
it.
stuff on Facebook and whatever. They're online. They post all the time. It's quite beautiful.
So, yeah. Sorry about totally ignoring the chat. Wow, look at you
I
all.
can't see them. I apologized ahead of time because, like, you know.
Greg's in front of the laptop, not us.
they
Yeah.
once asked, "Well, what the
I got
hell?
a
She
mic in
never
one
says
end, a
anything."
joint in the other, and
Can't see ya.
Could have turned it, I suppose, but
but yeah, good of you folks to tune in and have the fun that you have in the chat without us. You pretty much ignore us too.
They kind of do their own thing anyway,
It is
their own beautiful way. Thanks, Green Supreme, for keeping it clean, keeping it flowing.
keeping it real.
Keeps it real.
Yes, well, good to have you all tune in. And for those of you who aren't in the chat and watching in other days, thanks for doing that too. Spread the word about marijuana. It's a good thing. And do everything you can to get it legalized for everyone, not just medical marijuana. Don't get tricked by this shit that's more important. Come on. Legalize it for everyone, and everyone gains from it, not just. So good luck to all those people in court. And we'll be back next week. I'm Marijuana Man. Peace and pod. See you next week.